Then I'm going to put an extra $300 on the mortgage. That's on top of the $2,600 that we're already expecting. That'll be $2,900, and we're expecting our balance by the end of the year to be sitting at $33,500. Okay, let's do a mid-month check-in, even though I'm filming this on December 17th and we are already past mid-month technically. As you guys know, I recently posted a video saying that I'm requesting to go part-time at my job. For some reason, some people misinterpreted that as us giving up on our payoff journey or as if it just ends here. Not the case. That's the furthest from the truth. We are absolutely still going to pay off our house. And like I said in that video, I plan to still have it paid off in 2025. Call me crazy, but I absolutely think that can still happen. It's really not even that crazy. I think we'll still pay it off. And the thing is that some of you guys seem to be forgetting, but July was our early payoff goal. Like, I had reconfigured some things and found out that we could pay it off by July. That's with my full-time income. Since we're not looking like it's going to be a full-time income, hopefully, it's going to be later in the year, most likely, realistically. Now, here's the thing, though. September is when we actually close. So September 2025 would be 5 years. But also, November 1st of 2020 was when our first payment was due. So if you want to be real, I could really make it to like the end of 2025 and still say we paid off our house in 5 years. I was obviously not excited about delaying our payoff journey, but then majority of the comments was supportive. But then there were some people who I was just surprised. They were really like, oh wow, I can't believe that. You're so close. Are you for real? Oh my gosh, like pay that house off. Write me a check or shut up. How about that? Anyway, so as of Friday, my manager submitted the request for me to be part-time. It's funny because like everything is tracked, and we had our weekly meeting on Friday. The manager was asking, does anybody have any questions? Because we were like in a moment when he was trying to pull something up and it was taking him a minute. So he's like, during the silence, do we have any questions? Nobody was saying anything. So I asked him, and he basically told me that it was already submitted. It can take a week. But I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know. But okay, cool. And he was just like, yeah, it'll take a week to get back to me. Why did I get an email like 40 minutes later that he just submitted it? So either you bold-faced lie or you didn't do it and I actually reminded you by bringing it up. We may never know. The point is that it was submitted Friday. So technically it said they have 10 days to get back to me. That would be Monday the 23rd. But in the meantime, I'm very anxious. I am uneasy. I'm anxious because I'm like, what if this doesn't get approved? And I'm also like, why are they taking all the time that they get? Like, why are they taking their sweet time? Surely everybody's not requesting to change their status. Just the anxious girly in me is like, what is it? Even though they have another, 6 days? I'm like, why do you need that whole 6 days? So I don't know. It was stressing me out a little bit today. Also, my manager sending me whatever he wanted us to do for this game that he's planning, as I talked about in the last video. I'm just like, games. Like I'm a grown woman. Anyway, Friday is the 20th. I have a dermatology follow-up appointment. If you guys have been here, y'all know in September I went to a dermatologist. They prescribed me I don't even know if it's like gonna be backwards, but tretinoin. This is about how much I have left. It's still a decent amount, even though it doesn't look like it. I haven't been using it everywhere like I could have. I could have technically also been using it on my chest and my back, but I've really only been doing like my face. And honestly, I don't really know. I don't really feel like it's as better as they said it would be at this point, to be honest with you. It really makes me feel like a lost cause. Sure, like I feel like I'm not like actively breaking out as much as I was, but I feel like when I look at my face right now, I see a lot of like hyperpigmentation, honestly. I don't know if you guys can see it. The lighting makes it look better than it is. Like sometimes people are like, oh, you look fine. Really, it's just the lighting that really makes my face look better than it is. And surely it's a little bit worse on this side. So they told me like it could be like 60% better by now. I guess it really just depends on what you mean. I don't feel like it's 60% better. If I had to guess, I'm probably going with like 15%. I don't know. Like I said, I really honestly, I don't even know. I don't feel like it's that much better. So It really just makes me feel like I'm a lost cause. Anyway, supposed to use it at least for like 6 months, I guess, which would technically be March. So we'll see where I'm at in March. It's just a little discouraging, I'm not gonna lie to you, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, get to pay money to go there and have them look at me and say probably like nothing. They didn't even take pictures. And like I said the last time when I vlogged me going there, the vibes were off a little bit. Like it was just a little off, I don't know, whatever. But y'all didn't even take pictures, so how are you gonna compare it? You just gotta ask me, what do you think? Like I've talked about how I feel about doctors before. I just feel like the human body is so complex. You're basically just treating your clients as a guinea pig and trying this and trying that until something works. It's kind of how I feel. Don't get me wrong. Yes, absolutely. I think that doctors are amazing. They save lives. They do all these amazing things. I do appreciate that. But I think when it's things that are like preventative or either just things that you're going to like get treated, you just never know. Nobody really fully knows, but whatever. It's a conversation for another day. Oh yeah, and I am breaking out right here. It's got a random pimple. And then this one's like healing a little bit right here. Right there. That's my life. Anyway, we just put the kids to bed. I do want to also go over what the budget's looking like, my spreadsheet right now as we are crossing over into the later part of December. Yeah, January budget's gonna look really weird, honestly. I'm hoping and believing, if you guys can't tell, that if this is gonna get approved and I'm gonna be part-time. I don't know, but I'm just talking like I am, so I hope that that's the case. Anyway, you know, first paycheck in January, it's gonna look a little weird. But I think it's going to be one of those things where I really just have to wait and see how much it's going to be, what it's going to look like. It's going to be like an adjustment, basically, is what I'm saying. I don't really know what to expect for next year. I really, really don't. I know a lot of people say they want to what we eat in a week. But here's the thing. I don't really do the cooking. My husband does the cooking. I'll show you guys, actually. People keep commenting about seeing what we eat. My husband just made food, so let me go see. There's the man of the hour, my beautiful king. What a beautiful chocolate man.
Thank you.
If you know, you know. Some people probably don't know what that's from. Anyway, this is what he is meal prepped. Green beans, chicken, and potatoes. And he just made some salmon, which I love. Salmon, yes. And we have rice. We just always have rice on deck, you know? Chicken. We just meal prep stuff. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. And this week, we got crumble. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy because they had my favorite. They finally brought it back. Cinnamon square. It's more like cake, but guys, it's so good. Go get your cinnamon square. We don't always get it, but when they got cinnamon square, we do.
Period.
How is it?
Delicious.
Within an hour, we're gonna be watching the NBA Cup finals.
That's right.
We are rooting for OKC, not the Bucks. Sorry, Milwaukee, but Milwaukee Bucks thought they were gonna build a super team with Giannis and Dame
Dollar.
and they ain't getting it done. They gotta stay humble.
L's in the chat.
Okay, guys, now let's look at our budget. Things are always subject to change because for one, when I do our monthly budget, I'm planning for the month, but I actually don't know how much bills are gonna be. So I'm kind of planning, and some of the things I'm like estimating, but realistically, the only thing that changes 2 to 3 bills this month. We're also buying Christmas presents, so that there's a lot more spending on here than usual. I would just say it straight up. I'm gonna show you guys. I just kind of configured a little bit and what we're deciding to do for Christmas, because as you guys know, we put money aside every month, almost every month, for Christmas. Now that we're finally in December, we're about done and it's time to spend the money. But what I decided to do for my dear husband is just tell him, you know, to buy kind of what he wants. $100-ish budget for that, and just using our Christmas money for that just because he knows what he wants. And the whole gift thing is just really hard, you know. If you're somebody who's also in a relationship or you share money, it's just not the easiest thing. And I know there's probably something that he wants, so buy it, use the Christmas money, done. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I don't really like want like a material item per se. Maybe there's some things I could use that I might buy, but I'll figure that out later. So the main difference, I guess, that since I did the budget at the beginning of the month, the only thing I'm really expecting is more side hustle income by the end of the month. Only mainly because Amazon storefront. I do my Amazon storefront, but I want to say like back in July or August, they had this like thing where you could make certain type of videos under a certain like criteria and you would make $50 per video, which is amazing. So I did that. It's funny because at first I was playing and they wasn't trying to give everybody their money that they really qualified for, and they came back and corrected it as they should. Anyway, I'm getting about $350 for that because I did like 7 videos. If I had really been on it, it would have been something else, but they made it very difficult. They're like, oh, can't make more than 1 video at the same type or same product. It really doesn't make sense if you're not used to doing it, which most people aren't, so I won't go into detail. Anyway, expecting more. Since now I am planning to be part-time, I think that I'm going to use some of that money to put extra on the mortgage, more than we planned, just to get us as low as possible before going into the new year and having this whole lifestyle change that we're expecting. So expenses, gas bill's a lot more than I was expecting. I think I planned for like maybe $80 and it ended up being $113.40, which that's just, you never know with these things. Honestly, if you guys look at your gas bill, I bet you will see the amount of money that you're actually charged for usage, like what you actually used, is a fraction of your overall bill. It's literally a scam, but what are you gonna do? We have been using the heat a lot, but like I said, electric bill, that's also more than I was expecting. I think I planned for like $130. Anyway, point is that I had to put more money aside for all of these, not all of these, but some of these expenses. It came up to be about $1,250 that I ended up putting aside for bills. The first time we got paid, I just move it on over into our savings account, let it sit until the end of the month or when we're ready to like pay bills. That's where that's at. Next paycheck is coming up next week and we're expecting about $3,300. $2,600 will go to the mortgage from our paycheck. That leaves us with about $700. I am planning right now for $600, which is the same amount that I always do for sinking funds. The second time around, which is $600, $100 for Christmas, $500 for property taxes that I just put in our high-yield savings account as well. So that'll leave us with like $100. I'm going to see what we're needing when that time comes. There's always something we're needing, to be honest with you. This card number 2, has been our spender this time, mainly just because right now they're offering more cash back with shopping at Target and Amazon. It's like quarterly, so obviously the quarter's almost over, but they typically do it during this time of year. Quarter 4, they have 5% on Target and Amazon. If anybody wants a referral link for that card, obviously if you know how to handle credit cards responsibly, if you don't, it's not for you. But DM me on Instagram, same at Live Without Loans, if you're looking for something like that. That's why I've been using that card more with Amazon, Target, really all of our Christmas stuff. I'm putting it on that card just to make it easy. Definitely expecting the max cash back with that. And then we'll just pay it off at the end of the month. Let's just say we're getting to the point where my oldest is into the video game stage officially, so that's why we're spending a little bit more. But I've talked about before how with Christmas, I don't want to teach my kids overconsumption from a very early age. My kids are not getting a bunch of Christmas presents. They don't need a whole bunch of Christmas presents at the end of the day. They don't need to be taught, like, here's present after present after present after present that you can't even consume and get excited about this one thing and I'm handing you another. Like, we just don't do that anymore. And it's not even really about money. It's more so just about not teaching them overconsumption. The money is a perk, but it's really just, they don't need a bunch of junk. If you don't know by now, I'm very anti-junk. You're not going to play with the items after like a month anyway. The list goes on. Right now we're planning, and my youngest is also have a birthday 2 days before Christmas. So right now we're planning 3 items for his birthday, 3 items for Christmas for each kid is what we're planning. But these are big items, either big in size or big in price tag. So they're gonna love it regardless, and it's really just right for them. And they have so many things down there they already play with. I'm actually thinking about taking a trip and just getting the things out the way that they don't play with, but honestly they play with a lot of that stuff. And so it's like, yes, it's Christmas, but why do they need a bunch more stuff? With this payday coming up, second paycheck, that's the plan. And then at the end of the month, we have all of our other income in, putting aside $175 for taxes for that, and then $525 going towards sinking funds. The plan is $170 to top off our emergency fund that I had to take from with an issue that we actually had with our siding. We hired some handyman to get it done. Definitely misinterpreted what he was going to be doing. Thought he was going to need to do a lot more stuff, so I agreed to the higher price just to find out. He was out there for a good 8 minutes, 10 minutes with him and his buddy, and they did not do as much as I thought. Whatever. From now on, we'll make sure that we're in clear communication. And that's why I want to be part-time, so I can be present during these conversations, ask questions that need to be asked, make sure that we are all understanding of what's going to be done. It is what it is. You got to pay for stuff like that sometimes. Then I'm going to put an extra $300 on the mortgage. That's on top of the $2,600 that we're already expecting. That'll be $2,900. And we're expecting our balance by the end of the year to be sitting at about $33,500. I'll take it going into 2025. And that leaves about $55. So we'll just put that towards something, some type of sinking fund, whatever that's needed. I've been able to make a little bit of money, like doing other things. I don't know if you guys know, but people who do take the time to like click the link in my bio or in the description, I do little types of services. I do run people's mortgage numbers if they want me to do like this whole scenario for them. I'll put a picture up of what it looks like. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say I got some more money to put towards certain things. In this case, it was other things I needed to buy, like my son growing out of his clothes back to back to back. Like, we just bought him a bunch of clothes when he started school in August. That was 4 months ago. At 3 months in, they're starting to be high waters on him. So I had to buy him a few extra pants. I'm like, gosh, where's all these boys' pants? There's like barely anything in there. So when I was at Target, they were actually coincidentally having a 30% off sale. I made sure to take advantage of that, bought him like 3 pairs of pants, amongst other things that we needed, and used the money that I had been making on my little side hustle to pay for that. Buying this budget template also is linked in the description on my Etsy shop. Even if they're super affordable, it all adds up. So as I said before, the plan is to go part-time effective in January. I really wholeheartedly want and plan to try to still use my other sources of income to make more money. I mean, it would be a dream to be able to make like an extra $2,000 a month, which is what I would gross be missing out on by going part-time. That would be a dream to come up and make $2,000 extra a month. Prepare to be sick of me, because I can just see myself posting a lot if I have the time to do it. I appreciate all you guys, your support, liking the videos, commenting. If you're new, subscribe. That is our mid-month check-in. Time goes too fast.